You ever live somewhere that feels like a prank from the universe? That's Elm Wood. Not in the middle of nowhere. More like someone accidentally parked on top of nowhere, reversed over something important, and built a town anyway. My name's Morgan Morrow. I'm 29. I flunked out of police academy because, allegedly, handcuffing yourself to the exam table while yelling, "You'll never catch me alive, coppers," counts as concerning behaviour. So now I work part-time as a courier for Elm Wood Express. We deliver everything except babies and explosives. Unless you tick the wrong box. Which happens more often than you'd think. The other half of my day is usually spent writing a list of all the things I need to do to become a real police officer. Then forgetting where I put the list and eating pizza instead. My therapist called that an unhealthy cycle. So I've unofficially promoted myself to town investigator, until I find that list anyway. I've got no badge, no jurisdiction, and no real skills, apart from the ability to down 6 cans of Monster and fall into a conspiracy rabbit hole like it's a religious experience. But my special interest is in justice, and someone's got to keep an eye on things. Especially since the police chief spends most of his time talking to an enchanted, very badly taxidermied ferret with a little hat and no people skills. His name's Julian. The ferret, not the police chief. All right, did I mention the town's not normal? Elmwood's weird. You don't move here, you just are here. 1 minute you're on a lazy Sunday drive, take a wrong turn onto a road that shouldn't exist, blink, and suddenly your mail's being delivered by a sentient weather balloon named Carl. Yes, I'm serious. Carl's cool. Little judgy. The main residents are cryptids, but they're mostly chill. Bigfoot's our park ranger. Nice guy. Bit too into Pinterest. The Wendigo runs a bookshop. Doesn't talk much, but if she's having a good day, she gives disturbingly accurate relationship advice. And then there's Malcolm, a wizard. Drinks too much. Smells like regret. Legally not allowed within 100 metres of a carousel. It's fine. Everything's fine. Except my shed, which has for the past 3 nights refused to open, only to unlock itself the moment I walk away. Last night it whispered something in Latin. Tonight I'm going in. Because if there's one thing you should know about me, it's this. I'm either going to solve Elmwood's biggest mysteries or die trying. Possibly in a shed-related accident. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. I need to deliver an emergency order of mushrooms to a pregnant Wapaloosie. Until then, any ideas on how to sweet talk a Latin whispering shed into giving back my hedge trimmer? Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. I lost the laptop. Just for a sec. It was under the bread in the kitchen. I know I didn't put it there, so it must have been him. But that's a story for another time. Anyway, brought a torch and a crowbar and a bag of Monster Munch because I panic snack when I'm scared. Don't judge me. The shed sits at the edge of my garden like it knows something I don't, which is statistically likely because yesterday it growled at me in a dead language I had to Google. Apparently, it said, 8 eyes have seen too much. Not quite sure what I'm meant to do with that info, but I really think 8 eyes need to mind their own business. Naturally, I noped out of there quite fast, but returned with snacks and emotional baggage because at the end of the day, this is my shed. I've been inside before, obviously. It was years ago though. I think I was going through my gardening phase. It had paint cans, a hedge trimmer, and a dead spider I called Stephen. Well, it wasn't dead when I named it, but, I mean, it's been years. Now, the wood's walked, the door breathes, I swear I saw an eye blink in the knot in the wood. It opened for me before I even touched the handle. Of course it did. I stepped in. Inside, it was bigger, like way bigger. Physics gave up about 6 feet in. The floor was carpeted in a thick layer of dust-coated webs. There was a coat rack made entirely of chicken bones, and a framed picture of my Year 5 class photo, with all the other kids scratched out. Cool, 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 I whispered to myself as my torch flickered like it had something dramatic to say. And then came the voice. Deep, gravelly, British. Sounded like if Alan Rickman had a sinus infection. State your purpose. Now, if I were a normal person, I'd have screamed, maybe cried, called my mum, but I'm Morgan. I adjusted my hoodie, held up my torch like a weapon, and said, I live here. Who the hell are you? Silence. Then a sigh. Morgan? No, I'm Morgan, I shot back. And then it stepped forward. 8 spindly legs barely supported a massive segmented body the colour of an old bruise. Its mandibles dripped a thick viscous liquid that sizzled slightly as it hit the floor. Its 8 eyes shone in the dim light like shattered glass marbles, spinning and twitching in their sockets. It creaked and clicked as it moved, impossibly large, an eldritch abomination wearing the scent of mildew and half-remembered childhood trauma. It towered over me, at least 6 feet tall and just as wide. My knees locked. My monster munch hit the floor. Shit, I croaked out, strangled with fear, not sure if it was for the lost crisps or that thing. My torch blinked once, dramatically, and gave up, plunging me into darkness. Oh, shit, I said again. This time it was definitely because I was in trouble. I braced for death. Then, in the dim glow of the moonlight, it smiled. A cheerfully teary-eyed, crooked, horrific smile. It's me, it chirped. Stephen! Shit. Stephen? The spider thing Stephen wiggled what I can only assume was a smile. Missed you, he chirped. Right, I said, taking a slow, measured step backwards. Missed you too, mate. Love what you've done with the place, especially the murder carpet and cursed photo wall. Another step. Stephen shifted his weight, each leg creaking like a haunted rocking chair. You should stay, he said. Catch up, have snacks. I would, really, but I've left the oven on. And also the iron, and also I just remembered I don't want to be here anymore. The shed groaned. The door, somehow still behind me, creaked back open. Bless it. Stephen tilted his head. I'll see you soon? Yeah, definitely. We'll do lunch. Just not today, or tomorrow, or ever. Okay, bye. So, yeah, that's where we are. The shed's not gaslighting me. It's just haunted by a 6-foot spider who remembers my birthday and wants to hang out. Cool. Totally normal. Love that for me. That's what you get for naming a spider and assuming he wouldn't grow up into an emotionally complex cryptid. There's so much more to tell you all, but right now, I really need a bath and a sleep and possibly more monster munch. I'm meeting Tyrell in the morning to deliver a box labelled "Do not water after midnight." Because apparently I've become the local eldritch Amazon. Maybe I'll tell you how that goes, assuming it doesn't hatch first. You ever show up early for work just to prove you're capable of being a responsible adult? Only to realise the person who'd be impressed the most by that is currently locked in a psychic feedback loop of compare the meerkat ads and funeral plan jingles. Yeah, that was today. I got to the depot at 6:45 a.m. The moon was still out. It's okay, it wasn't full. I'm not that done. I was feeling motivated, alert, mildly caffeinated. Then I got a text from Tyrrell.
Running late, fam. Something infiltrated my subconscious and sold me life insurance in my dreams. I'm knackered. But I need to try and claim this back, bruv. I can't afford to be done like this twice. You get me? I'm also suddenly aware I'm going to die someday. Probably soon. Maybe Tuesday.
Right. Honestly, I don't even know how to respond to that. So now I'm here, alone, in the depot, bored. So I suppose I have time to tell you a little more about me. If you haven't already read my first ramblings, my name's Morgan. I live in Elm Wood, a town you definitely won't find on TripAdvisor. The brave explorers who find this place through sheer bad luck and word of mouth don't usually return home. Or at least, not the same anyway. And any that do and are Karen enough to write a review usually find their posts mysteriously vanish by morning. Or worse, they get one very polite email from a Mr. Balthazar at Local Realities Management asking them to kindly rephrase their comment about the screaming sky hole. And then they vanish too. Or in rarer cases, they get visited by 3 ghosts claiming to be the spirits of Christmas past. Except it's not Christmas, and instead of festive cheer, they just scream in reverse Latin and make you relive your most embarrassing childhood memories in high-def surround sound. Honestly, I'd rather disappear. One time I complained to Sheila in Paranormal Resources about the amount of hair left in the break room, and boom, 12 a.m. the next night, Gary, herald of poor life choices, comes in, and I spend 2 hours reliving the time I peed myself in year 3. Rule of thumb, don't complain. But since we're already here, and Till's probably still being gently spoon-fed nightmares by the life insurance gremlins, I might as well tell you what actually happened that night. So picture this. It's 11:59 p.m. I'm asleep, dreaming about something wholesome. Probably pizza, possibly vengeance. Then the room drops 20 degrees and the smoke alarm starts sobbing. At exactly 12 a.m, my lights flicker, my toaster levitates, and a Victorian child's voice whispers, "It's time." Enter Gary. Gary doesn't knock. He just phases through the wall like an unpaid bill and stands at the foot of my bed, glowing faintly and holding a clipboard. He's 7 feet tall, draped in funeral formal wear, and smells like burnt toast and regret.
"Morgan,"
he says with the tone of someone who's seen too much and isn't paid enough.
"You have been marked for retrospective life evaluation. Please remain seated in your subconscious until shame concludes."
Oh, come on, Gary, not this again.
"Yes, this again. You know the rules. Snitches get stitches."
Oh, Before I can say anything else, my bedroom dissolves into a year 3 classroom. I'm 8 years old again. I'm doing a presentation on spiders, ironic in hindsight, and mid-sentence I sneeze. And sneeze. And then fully wet myself, in front of the whole class. In this ghost-powered VR remake, the other kids begin chanting, "Dribble pants, dribble pants," in reverse Latin, while the teacher turns into a sock puppet that just keeps whispering, "Disappointment." This goes on for 2 hours. At one point, Gary offers me popcorn.
"It's salted,"
he says.
"From your tears."
Eventually, I wake up in a cold sweat, with one hand suspiciously placed in a glass of cold water, a sticker on my chest that says, "Shame achieved," So yeah, Gary's real. He's efficient, and he will emotionally detonate you if you complain about break room hygiene. Elm Wood's got policies, okay? Anyway, I'm a part-time courier here at Elm Wood Express and full-time legend. Just recently, through sheer determination and a nerve of steel, I managed to uncover the secrets of my garden shed, which, as it turns out, is not just a shed. It's a dimensional horror pocket with questionable interior decorating and a 6-foot cryptid spider named Stephen, who, honestly, I think is in love with me. So that's where I'm at in life. And now I'm back at the depot. Too early, too alone, and staring at a suspiciously shaky crate in the corner marked, "Do not feed after midnight." Again. It's making a ticking sound now, and I don't know if it's a clock or teeth. BRB, going to poke it with a broom.
Yo, I just want to start this off by saying it's Tyrell, not Tyrell.
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 Yell.
Bro, just call me T.
So T arrived just after I gave the box a little pope. Just as well, really, as I'd have probably let my impulses win and done it a second time. There's an old wives' tale here in Elm Wood. It goes, never poke a box if it growls, and definitely not if it growls in a Scottish accent. I might be slightly paraphrasing. Either way, it was probably a bad idea to provoke the box.
Yo, bro, whoa, no.
T announced as he walked in and saw me poised, broom in hand. What? I said innocently. That rhymed, I giggled, also like an absolute child.
That's our next delivery, bruv. I don't have the funds to be docked for a damaged package. Couldn't cancel the life insurance. Locked into a contract, apparently.
Note to self, don't sign dream contracts, even if they offer a free pen. Did you get the pen?
What?
Nothing. The package was heavy, like suspiciously unnaturally heavy. Like maybe it had eaten another, smaller package to assert dominance. Naturally, I did the whole weaponised incompetence thing. Flipped my hair, added some flair. T, this is so heavy. Can you lift it into the van whilst I go get a snack? I mean, the sack of packages, obviously. Phew, nailed it. He stared at me with the kind of expression that said he'd seen through it, but was too emotionally drained to care.
Fine,
he muttered, grabbing the box. The moment he touched it, it made a sound, like a purr, but deeper, and with malice. Did that box just purr? I asked.
No.
We both paused. The box purred again, louder, then whispered.
Aye, that's the good hand.
He dropped it, and I dropped my monster munch. Wait, what? T bent down slowly, frowning at the crate like it had just called him by his full government name.
Bro, what is even in this thing?
I crouched beside him, squinting. And that's when we saw it. Stickers. A lot of them. Same exact colour as the crate. Slightly shinier. You'd never notice unless you were really looking. There was the big one on top, do not feed after midnight, but the rest, deliver straight to recipient, do not drop, there is no safe place, and our personal favourite, if it begs, do not respond. T sat back with a sigh.
Safe. So, it's not just heavy, it's alive.
Thought you'd have got that from the talking just there, no? Never mind. Technically, I said, trying to sound helpful, it hasn't done anything illegal, yet. As if on cue, the crate made a tiny wet hiccuping noise and whispered.
Feed me a finger and I'll give you your future.
T stood up.
Nah, absolutely not. Get in the van. We're delivering it now.
I, of course, made no move to help and instead picked up my crushed Monster Munch and headed to the passenger seat. I had priorities. Note to self: gloves, bring gloves, maybe holy water, maybe both. Now, it could have just ended there. A swift drive down the road, plop the box on the doorstep, ring the doorbell and leg it. But no. Okay, what's the address? I muttered as I flipped through the manifest. Shit. T looked up from trying to fasten his seatbelt.
That's never good.
I held up the manifest like it had personally betrayed me. The house past the 6 pine, I read aloud, where the trees stopped whispering. He blinked.
Isn't that
Yep.
where the guy with the melted gnome collection used to live?
Double yep.
Didn't a squirrel burst into flames there once?
It was a ferret, but yeah. We both stared at the crate again, through one little air hole, and I blinked back.
Do we have to deliver it?
T asked, already knowing the answer.
We could just set it on fire.
It says deliver straight to recipient on the box, I muttered. T exhaled through his nose.
Just making sure we're legally required to do something stupid. Shut up, bruv.
T muttered to the box as he started the van. The van ride was mostly silent, apart from the occasional taunts from the crate and one unsettling moment when it softly sang the chorus to I Will Survive, but replaced every word with disappointment.
If you stopped eating for a second, maybe we could help each other out.
The box spoke up halfway through the drive.
It would also help out your pant size here.
It was at that point I kinda, maybe, knew what it was. I'm not listening to you, I chimed.
Oh, but I know you are. With ears that big, you could hear sign language.
I knew it could see us, I muttered, shifting lower in my seat.
Can I punt it?
T asked, eyeing the crate through the rear view mirror as it squirmed slightly.
You could try.
The crate replied smugly.
But I've seen your coordination, bruv.
T stiffened.
I am not being verbally assaulted by a crate.
T hissed, putting the van in park.
You already lost, bro, here. Your posture told me everything.
T, no, don't. That's what it wants, I called after him as he leapt from the van and stormed to the back. You see, dear reader, this thing is a demogatory, a fluffy, portable insult generator wrapped in fur and spite. Think party animal from that film Barnyard. It's like if a demonic beanbag chair drank too much Monster and got a TikTok account dedicated to bullying people at petrol stations. Demons used to be summoned by cultists, blood circles, candles, goat screams. Back in my day. I'm old. Anyway, back in my day, you had to put actual effort into summoning chaos. Now, you just check a box that says include verbal cruelty, yes/no, and pay the delivery fee. Progress. They're technically minor demons, but their emotional damage output is significant. They feed on self-esteem like it's cake, and the more you flinch, the stronger they get. And someone had just paid good money to have one delivered to a cursed house in the woods. Why? Maybe it was for protection, maybe it was bait, maybe it was just a very niche birthday gift. T once delivered a cursed singing fish plaque that recited the confessions of a sociopath when wet to a wedding reception, so nothing's really off the table anymore. What I do know is this. I just heard the crate unlatch and T's gone quiet, which is never, ever a good sign. Well, that was an adventure. I think T's dream sales guy had a premonition. Where was I? Oh, yeah. T? I whispered. He didn't answer. I could hear the crate creaking open and a tiny fluffy voice whispering,
Well, 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 if it isn't the failed potential and crippling avoidance issues.
Something whimpered. T, you good? I called, already regretting it.
Bro, it's so small.
He whispered. Oh, that's okay, mate. It's not the size that matters. I started as I edged around the van, and there it was. The monster. He was talking about the demogatory. I knew that. It was about a foot tall, covered in patchy, rage-textured fur, big eyes, tiny horns, arms crossed like a disappointed life coach. It was standing on top of the crate, staring straight at T.
You peeked in year 8,
it said helpfully. T looked like he was going to cry. T, mate, don't listen to it. You'll only make it stronger. You, get back in the crate, you fluffy little hell goblin. It turned to me, slowly, grinning.
And you, how's that unprocessed childhood trauma coming along? Still journaling, or just crying in the bath again?
I don't even have a bath, I snapped.
Exactly.
Anyway, I don't just journal. I have a very successful YouTube channel, actually.
Ah, yes. You and your 20 subscribers are changing the world, eh?
T squeaked. The demogatory hopped off the crate like he was about to start a TED talk titled, Why You Deserve It. I grabbed the nearest thing I could find, a box of bubble wrap, and flung it. It bounced off his head. He didn't flinch.
Pathetic attempt. Very on brand.
So yeah, the demon was loose. T was broken, and I was out of bubble wrap. This is fine. T slammed the van door shut. Hard. Our T's fixed. The demogatory shrieked, not in pain or fear, in offended surprise.
Ood!
It howled from inside the van.
You'll be hearing from my solicitor.
Do you have a solicitor? I asked.
No, but I insult one on Twitter weekly. That's basically the same.
Touché. We stared at the van. It rocked slightly as the thing inside paced, muttering increasingly targeted insults and occasionally reciting poetry that rhymed futility with your personality. T turned to me.
We going?
Yep. We climbed into the cab, turned the ignition and... nothing. Just a grinding wheeze. We tried again. Still nothing. The van was stuck. In the middle of the whispering woods, right where the fog thickens and the birds stop pretending they're normal. I reached for my phone. I scrolled desperately through my apps and hit the emergency Elm Wood recovery contact. Ricky's Rockin' Roadside Recovery. The icon was a Yeti in high vis. Oh, crap.
Why is it not working?
I've got no credit.
Credit? Bruh, how old are you? You need a plan.
I have a plan, I snapped. Walk.
That's not what I meant, bruv. A data plan.
He leaned back smugly.
I get unlimited calls, text and data for only $19.99 a month. It came to me in a dream. Now I'm locked into a 2-year contract, but it's all good this time.
Really? I asked, suspicious.
No cap.
I get that. But is that what you really get?
I just said, no cap.
Yes, but I know it's unlimited. I mean, is that an actual deal? This went on for a while. The van creaked behind us. The fog pressed closer, and somewhere inside, the demogatory laughed.
Stupid millennial.
I think I just need to stop an ad here. How the hell was I meant to know that no cap meant that you're not lying? The two things don't even sound the same. Just say, yeah, Morgan, it's true. No cap, for Christ's sake. Anyway. We were still arguing about phone plans when dim headlights appeared in the distance. It's hard to tell with the fog clinging to the air like that one ex that just didn't want to let go because life's not worth living without you. But they were flickering like mildly disco themed. Made me feel like I was back in a 90s school disco with too many hot dogs and not enough oxygen. A beat up truck rolled out of the fog with Ricky's Rockin' Roadside Recovery hand painted on the side in glittering runes. The door creaked open and Ricky climbed out. 8-foot tall Yeti, sunglasses, high-vis jacket with sequins, mismatched Crocs.
Hi, Queens. What you doing all the way down here?
He asked, voice smooth like jazz, and a drag queen had a cryptid baby. Delivering a parcel, I said, blinking. Then T got us stuck. Then...
She didn't have a plan.
T interrupted. Ricky nodded solemnly. He walked up to the van, stopped, sniffed the air, then turned to us with a frown.
You got a demogatory in there?
Well, in the van, out the box. Yeah.
It's loose.
He hissed. Wait, you're not going to help?
I don't get paid enough to beef with box demons, darling. I'm fabulous, not fearless. Toodles!
He said, sliding back into the cab. And just like that, poof, he was gone. Vanishing back into the fog like a ghost with good boundaries. We were alone again. No van, no phone, no patience. Brilliant. Sob this, I muttered as I pulled out the map from the glove box, hands still shaking slightly. All right, we're about a mile from the drop point. It's a straight shot through the forest. T looked at me like I'd just suggested cartwheeling through a minefield.
A mile? Carrying that?
We both glanced at the crate. Solid wood, evil aura, emotionally damaging.
I'm not dragging that thing through the woods. It'll escape.
Oh my goodness, you are 7 sandwiches short of a picnic, aren't you? If I wanted to escape, I would have. But this is important. I want to be delivered.
It leaned its fuzzy little elbows on the seats and batted its horrible little eyes.
Carry me, and I'll come willingly, like a baby.
It purred.
Like the emotional burden I am.
T stared at the crate, then at me, then back at the crate.
We can't both carry it.
He said. Nope.
We can't leave it.
Double nope.
We doing this?
I nodded. We squared up. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I threw scissors. He threw paper. He winced before the outcome had even landed.
Best of 3?
Nice try. He held the crate open. The demogatory sat there, smug as a gremlin in a hot tub.
Oh, look. Equality. Bet you weren't expecting emotional labor to be this literal, huh?
I scooped it up. It was surprisingly warm, and heavier than it looked. And fuzzy. It clung to my jacket like a possessive cat, and let out a happy This is the worst day of my life, I muttered.
You say that every day. It's called consistency.
We started walking. The forest creeped around us, The fog thickened. Somewhere in the distance, something screamed. "I hate this place," I whispered. The demogatory didn't insult me. It just shifted slightly in my arms, like it was listening. We walked maybe half a mile before the woods changed. Branches started moving, without wind. T stopped.
Morgan.
Yeah, I saw it too. A figure, made of moss, bark, and bones, blocked the path. Some kind of forest guardian, revenant, bureaucratic wood spirit. It raised a long arm made of gnarled wood and vines, and pointed directly at me. And then the demogatory did something weird. It hissed, loudly, like an angry kettle filled of bees. The figure recoiled, limbs crackling.
Oi! Back off, Twig Daddy. This one's mine.
The demogatory barked. The spirit blinked and vanished into the mist. T and I stood in stunned silence. "You just..." I began.
Yeah.
It muttered, settling deeper into my arms.
Don't get sappy about it. We had a mutual enemy.
A few minutes passed. Then I asked, softly, "Why'd you help me?" It didn't answer right away.
Because you heard me.
It whispered. "What?"
The others never talk. They don't listen. They just deliver. Seal the box. Keep the rules. Don't feed. Don't look. Don't engage. But you looked. You heard me. And because you're a useless meat sack.
I didn't know what to say, so I kept walking. But I think I held it a little tighter. The trees finally thinned out, like even they didn't want to be near this place. We stepped into a clearing. There it was, the house. Crumbling stone walls, crooked roof, windows blacked out from the inside like eyes that forgot how to look out.
So, this is it, I guess.
We stood in silence for a moment. The demogatory wriggled slightly in my arms and muttered,
Smells like broken dreams and unopened emails.
The path to the door was overgrown, no footprints, no signs of life. And then we saw them, dozens of crates, stacked on the porch, along the walls, half buried in ivy, all identical, each one still sealed, each one faintly humming, each one vibrating slightly, like something inside was pacing. I stepped closer and wiped dust off one of the crates. There were stickers, faded but still legible. Do not engage. Deliver without interaction. Do not speak to it. If you hear your name, ignore it. Matching is permanent. I felt sick. T crouched beside a box, fingers tracing the labels.
These were delivered. All of them.
But they never talked to it, I whispered. He nodded.
They followed the rules.
Cowards!
I looked down at it. It was quiet now, still, eyes big, watching me. And I realized something that made my spine tighten. All these others? They were waiting, searching, unmatched. I looked at the one I'd carried this whole way. It had spoken to me, insulted me, helped me, and now it was just waiting to see what I'd do next. The front door creaked open. A figure stepped out, silhouetted by the sickly amber light from inside. He had a tea towel slung over one shoulder like he was hosting Bake Off, Apocalypse Edition, and his hair was doing that thing where it thought it was curly but really it just needed a wash. He looked directly at me, smiled.
Ah, I see you've made a new friend, Morgan.
He stepped fully into the light. Jordan, bloody, Johnston. Fucking Jordan, I said under my breath. What are you doing here? I asked flatly. He spread his arms like he was welcoming us to a low-budget cult dinner party.
Oh, bit of dusting, making supper, plotting the end of the universe.
Again? We said. Jordan Johnston was the kind of guy who owned 4 swords, none of which he could legally carry, and still told people he was trained. He once tried to start a militia because the local council wouldn't let him plant lavender.
What the hell is that? Looks like a sentient ego wrapped in discount cologne and mummy issues.
I snorted. Mutual enemy, I said under my breath. Jordan straightened his posture like he was about to give a TED talk titled "Why I'm Definitely the Protagonist."
It's not your friend, Morgan.
He said, voice rising with melodramatic flair.
You think that thing in your arms cares about you? I sent them out to wreak havoc, to wear you down, to suck the very essence of your soul, to kill all your joy.
I don't have joy, I said flatly.
Consistency,
the demogratory whispered approvingly.
Quiet!
Jordan snapped, pointing at the creature like it had personally offended his skincare routine. You turned back to me.
I needed them to bond, to match, to break you down one by one. That's the point, Morgan. That's what they were made for. When you flinch, they feed. When you spiral, they grow stronger. And once you're hollow enough...
He smiled.
They make space. Space for something bigger, something vast, something waiting.
T shifted beside me.
What? Like a demon?
Jordan shook his head.
Like a god.
He gestured to the house behind him.
All these crates, all waiting for someone to talk, someone to care, someone to feel. That's how it spreads. That's how we prepare Elm Wood for what's coming.
He turned to me again, eyes gleaming.
And now you have a choice, Morgan. Deliver another, or keep it. Let it finish what it started.
I looked down at the demogatory. It was staring up at me with big, round, puppy dog eyes, the kind designed to ruin emotional boundaries. Its little arms were still crossed, but its expression had shifted, less smug, more hopeful. I frowned. Don't look at me like that.
Worth a shot,
it muttered, then looked away. I looked back up at Jordan, defiant. You won't succeed. I'll take it, I said firmly. But there's no way I'm helping you. Jordan just smirked.
You're helping either way, Morgan.
The demogatory was still cradled in my arms like a judgmental gremlin baby. I brushed a bit of matted fluff off its head. We'll see about that, I muttered. Then added half under my breath, I can change him. The demogatory stiffened, recoiled slightly, and looked up at me in alarm. And that was when all three of them, Jordan, the demogatory, and T, said in perfect, miserable unison,
Typical woman.
I didn't answer, just turned and started walking. The crates around us hummed. Jordan watched me go with that smug, knowing look that made me want to throw a demogatory and a brick.
You see?
He called after me.
You always think you're the exception.
And that's about it for now. All that effort, all that chaos, just to deliver something that was apparently meant for me in the first place. Figures. I did say in my first log, I'm an amateur expert detective. I do plan to investigate Jordan properly at some point. But right now, I've got enough on my plate. I've named the demogatory Keith. He doesn't like it. Neither do I. But it'll teach him a lesson. I bought him a basket and a bowl with his name on. Both pink. He sticks to me like glue now. I think that's the point. Jordan summoned this specific type of lesser demon on purpose. One that attaches to people, wears them down, whisper by whisper, until there's nothing left but an empty shell to take over. Joke's on him. I was always told I was 2 sandwiches short of a picnic anyway. Keith is currently outside tormenting the hell out of Stephen through the shed door. He won't go in. I think he's scared of spiders. I'll keep you updated. Morgan out.
Yo, Tyrell here. Morgan let me borrow her weird little recorder thing so I can log this before I forget again. paranormal resources said I should start documenting my experiences. Apparently there's a complaints procedure for dream scams now. Emotional liability clause, innit? Some poor bloke got mentally possessed by a dead Victorian dentist last year and they're still trying to reimburse him in Tesco vouchers. It's Sainsbury's or nothing, fam. So yeah, I had another dream last night, but not like a normal dream. Not like the one where I was trapped in a lift with Gary the compliance ghost and my year 12 PE teacher. This one had structure, like someone had a storyboard. It started with a corridor, you know the kind, endless, dim lighting, lino floor like a hospital that's seen things and never been mopped properly since. I was barefoot, naturally. Why wouldn't I be? Socks are for pussies. I walked for like ages. Every so often, a door would creak open and whisper, extended warranty. Every time I tried to ignore it, the door got closer. Every time I acknowledged it, it asked for my national insurance number, in reverse. Eventually I gave in and opened one, and inside was me, sitting at a desk, wearing a headset, selling life insurance to myself. And let me tell you, I was good, like worryingly convincing. I even upsell funeral cover with a cashback plan, and now I don't know if I'm technically insured in the astral plane, which is stressful. I also don't know why I didn't know my own national insurance number. Then I woke up, covered in sweat. Whole bed stank like Monster and Fear. The worst part, I checked my phone, and there was a missed call from a no-caller ID at 2:14 a.m. No voicemail, just the emoji of a briefcase. Anyway, I think the dreams are getting stronger, or smarter, or bored. Not sure which is worse. Morgan says maybe it's connected to Jordan O'Keefe, the demogatory. She thinks maybe these dreams are test runs, like softening us up. I don't know, maybe they're trying to figure out who breaks first. All I know is I'm knackered and my credit score is suffering. Right, that's enough oversharing for one log. Morgan, if you're listening, tell your demon to stop emailing me memes. Bonus log. Out. Tyrell. Oh, shit. I've just uploaded the whole thing to fucking YouTube, blood.
You what?
Oh, well, subscribe, I guess.